All right, now, last but not least, I'm going to show you how to render audio because that is what we came in this program to do, isn't it? So we're going to go back to start and, oh shoot, still have that ant effect on. Remove. And I'm going to get rid of this delay and reverberate because I just want to render this dry signal right now. Now, what uh, what we want to do to render, we want to make sure that
Sir.
our volume is
Sir.
coming through nice and loud, okay? And
Sir. Yes, sir.
all right, so you notice my S's are pretty heavy in that I don't think this has a de-esser. So, but that like your sibilance is one major thing that's going to hurt your recordings a lot. So what we can do in the meantime is kind of EQ a little. Now, I mean a little. Do not use too much EQ because you can wreck your audio just as much as you can wreck it with delay. All right. What we're going to want to do is add a high pass filter after all the effects. Okay. You could do it actually before compression too, or before the gate, because then any kind of like low thumps on the floor, or if you tap the mic while it's going, you can cut most of those out, and they might get muted by the gate. So high pass filter, you want to do it. People's voices generally don't have any frequencies below 80 decibels. Okay, and the way you could tell that is, let's take a look at mine because I have a pretty low voice. Let's go to our. This is my audio interface. So you'll notice that when I'm talking, these strong lines here are the lower. Here, I even have an output. Sorry, that's for my. These lines here are generally like our what's it called, fundamental frequencies of our voice. Okay, that is the lowest frequency, and we can cut out anything below that basically. So in my case, and you notice when I go below that, it gives me this this pop below it, and that is actually um, from that's actually like what you want to cut out with this EQ. So these and and I even have a there you go. I have a high pass frequency on my audio interface. So if you have something that says HPF, hit that before you record. It'll really help out your recordings quite a bit. And afterwards, you'll notice that. So mine's at about 100, and you don't need this to see exactly what's happening. You can just simply.
Sir.
So you can even see it here.
Sir. Yes, sir. Ready.
And you can take a listen. So I'm going to put mine to about 100. Okay.
Sir. Yes, sir. Ready. Roger that. I'm going.
Okay, so you'll notice there's a little thump there, but that doesn't really matter right now. So anyways, cut the lows before you render, okay? Now, let's go to the render dialog. Press Control-Alt-R or File, Render, okay? Now, I'm going to go through this menu quickly, and then I'm going to show you a couple options for rendering. Render Master Mix. Don't change that, okay? That'll give you basically anything that is coming through your speakers right when you play. So don't touch render master mix. Render bounds. Now these are two things I'm going to show you today, because right now you can render the entire project, okay, which is your whole darn thing, or if you're requested to do a couple different files, you can render time selection, custom time range, or project regions. Now, I'm going to show you this menu, then I'm going to show you how to use time selection, because that is the quickest way to get your audio to your person. So, file directory and file name, that's all up to you completely. I'm going to browse for. I have a voice acting directory in my one of my hard drives. So, voice acting. There we go. And I'll call it. No, that's here we go. So I'll render this as awaken soldier. So I can render the whole project right now. When you're rendering 44.1 mono, okay, full speed offline. You don't have to touch resample because we didn't do any pitch shifting. If you did, then that's more important. So you can use all these extreme blah 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 stuff. But 192 point is pretty decent. So output format WAV, and this is where you can select WAV or MP3 depending on your person that you're exporting to. You can just click on MP3. If you're using the MP3, constant bit rate 256, I recommend that because honestly, people's internet is ridiculously fast these days. MP3 is made for like the 90s, like back when we had 64 megabyte MP3 players that only hold 8 songs. So basically, WAV 16-bit is the way to go. So WAV 16-bit, allows you can just leave that checked. Do not include markers or regions. Do not, because there's no point. Now I can render the awakened soldier to voice acting just by clicking render one file, and it shows you. There we go, done. So quick, right? So that is our whole output file. Now, just for the sake of my developer, I'm going to render time selection. Now, the way we're going to do that is we're going to select these clips. You'll notice when I try and select, when you try and select up here, you're going to be dragging your audio. So you want to make some room below it that you can click and select. Okay. If you use, I had a different setting, but anyways, so we want to enable grid lines, Alt G or take off the grid lines. And what that'll allow us to do is select just our audio. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to select all the different parts.
Sir.
And then we're going to go back to our render dialog. Okay. And then time selection, awaken soldier, sir. Okay. And then you can do them all at once, like add to render queue. Let's try that. Okay. So time selection, 16-bit, make sure it's all the same, mono. Okay. Add to render queue. All right. So let's go through Control Alt R. Make sure you use your, cancel. Yes, sir. Add to render queue. So make sure you use your shortcuts with this because it gets
Ready.
Can get really slow. So shortcuts will help you quite a bit in life.
Roger that. Roger that.
Okay, see there's that little click before. Now I can just get rid of it by not selecting it. Control R. Make sure it's still time selection. Roger that. Roger that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and add all these to render queue. All of these. And then I will be back to show you how to finally render it. I'm sure you already figured it out. And like I said, you can also just render one file if you want. And that'll render just this time selection. And so you can do that one by one. It's up to you. But I'm going to show you the quickest way. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this and then we're going to do it. Alrighty. So my last one here, establishing battlefield controls. Establishing bad BF controls. Okay. So add to render queue. Now we simply open render queue. All right. So we got all our different ones. Shows the exact times that it's going to. Now let's try this. So just go through and I just want to make sure that they're all there. 11 to 12, 14 to 15. Yep. So they're all marked. And let's open up our voice acting folder to see if they're there. So I accidentally hit render now to one of them. But that's no big deal. No big deal. All right. So anyways, render all. Okay, let's do it. Looks like it's working though, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, it's jumping through. Wow. Look at that. All in one nice package. Boom. I simply zip these up and add to archive. Zip. Awaken solder pack. All right, cool. So, anyways, that's how to use Reaper for really quick stuff. I mean, if I wasn't, if I didn't have to show you guys every little thing, it would have taken me literally like half an hour to 20 minutes to do that. And to render all those different files in Audacity gets pretty painful. You got to record one at a time, or, you know, like, so now I just save this as my project, and you know what? I'll even put this project online for you guys, just so if you're having problems, like if you don't have recorded audio to work with, you can just grab this, mess with my project. Hey, that's fine with me. Anyways, there's your tutorial for voice acting in Reaper, and anyways, yeah. So enjoy, and leave me some comments or questions. Let me know what you need, and otherwise enjoy. Have fun with some voice acting.